Someone thinks highly of you. It's you whom they want, even after finding this detail about you. Listen, I want to talk about two things right here. And please pay close attention because you might feel like, okay, you already understand what I want to talk about, but actually, this is not what I actually really want to talk about. I want to talk about something deeper, okay? And by the way, I am Ishmael and your priest, and I welcome you to today's video. Now, listen. It is one thing for somebody to look at you and then they find or they favor you, all right? But yet, it's another thing if somebody is to come and say something, or they are to say just something minor and then they try to draw back or they push you away. That is why I want to dive deeper and tell you and reveal something to you. There is somebody that thinks highly of you. That's why I want to talk to you about it is a big favor. It is so much grace when above everything else you realize there were things that were coming against you. There were things that were coming to stand in your way. There were things that were coming to try to sabotage, but still, some way, somehow, the Lord came through. Listen, you must be that person that you wait upon the Lord to now take control. God is doing something great upon your life. There is somebody that is going to do something. That is why sometimes, I don't know, I was talking to somebody. I was like, sometimes some things, when it comes to acceptance, and I was giving an example with love, that sometimes whenever, as much as it might seem like just a general advice, but the reality is, when it comes to people, when it comes to them wanting you, and because of something minor and they draw back, it is not actually because there is something wrong with you or you did something wrong. But if somebody was to stay, it would have stayed, or they would have stayed. Haven't you said that if it was meant to be, it will? You know what I'm saying? It's because of the people who lived. Sometimes, as I grow, as I'm getting older and older, I get to see the realities of how the world operates. I get to see why there is a common saying about this. Such things as like, if it's meant to be, it will come back. La la la. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, this means there are people who show some sort of consistency, or I don't know the perfect term, but I'm not showing that. I'm trying to explain that you find that something keeps on happening in this manner. Almost like in my language, they have a saying that goes like, I just don't know how, I forgot how they say it in my absolute language, but they're trying to refer that two people who are all one handsome man and one beautiful woman, barely do they get together. It is difficult. You will find a very beautiful lady, but the man is less good looking, if you know what I mean. Or a very handsome man, but the lady. So people who are just so wonderful and they like, yeah, they say they never come across to the point where it becomes a norm. And I want to tell you, likewise, there are things that at the end of the day you must understand that when they say things like, if it's meant to be, it will come back. Let me tell you, that applies even in love. I said I'm going to talk about two things, right? So I'm going to start with love. So I want you to understand that as much as you know that you must put effort, as much as you know you're trying to make or some sort of like good impression, as much as you're trying to be positive, at the end of the day, you are supposed to put yourself in a situation where you know that I don't have to kill myself for it. All things will just flow. I am not supposed to act desperate, look like I'm, just for things to work out. That is why you know for real, for sure, when it just flows. When somebody comes into your life and you realize that they are overlooking a lot of things which were disqualifying you according to many people, then you know you're onto something amazing. You're onto someone amazing. You can be at a workplace. Now I'm talking about a second thing as well. So I'm going to combine all these things and tell you what you must do or what to do or what it is all about. You could be in a position where you want a promotion, an employment, or a favor from a boss. Sometimes whenever we'll be studying in the academics, I would realize there were people who just had favor with supervisors by default. And you will see when job or part-time job opportunities will arise, those people will be considered first. Whereas others, you just have to apply like everybody else. You get employed, they take it, they don't. But in situations where a supervisor could do something about, they will just hand it over. Just like that. That is why it is easy to be bad mouthed. It is easy for somebody to come and taint your name. Somebody can just mention your name. I have been in situations where you see someone they want, or I've seen people who, the moment they learn that someone wants to do something good for somebody, they will come and bad mouth. I once gave an example that I once at a point I wanted to give somebody something. And I mentioned to that person that I want to give you this thing. And that person went to tell some people, and those people, they didn't like it. So you know what they did? They just now came back to me, start poisoning my mind. So on reason why I should not give that person that thing. So the thing is, you get to realize names can be tainted. People can start to badmouth you. People can start to say negativities. You know what I'm saying? That's what people do. That's why at the end of the day, you will realize that it needs higher power. But when somebody, oh my God, this reminds me of something amazing. I have seen people that above everything else, sometimes I look at it with celebrities. You will see how much they will overlook so much things. For instance, just look at for an example. I know you can say maybe it's because of this, but look at the likes of Kanye West. You know how he was married to that Kardashian lady. Is it Kim Kardashian? Or something like that. So, but you would know that they spoke about things like what she did with that tape they recorded with is it Ray J, if not mistaken, if I'm not mixing up these stories. But the bottom line is, for one person, it was gonna be easy to be turned off and be like, no ways I can make such a wife. Look, come on, there's a tape. Like, look what she's been doing. But still, there was something about it that made him to want to marry her. And not because one would say, because he wanted money, he has money himself. You know what I'm saying? So it means like that was nothing. I think it's worth billions last time I checked. I don't know if it went down, but to show that this was not a matter of money, but there was something in it. So that is what I'm talking about. I want to tell you that whether it has to do with your marital life, whatever it has to do with your career wise, anything that's to do with you being favored, even though some people might come and wanna accuse, like the devil is who is the accuser of the brethren, let it not work when it comes to you. I pray that somebody will select you no matter what they have said, no matter what they do, they shall continue to think highly of you and put you first above all odds. In Jesus' mighty name, I pray that let that grace fall great upon you right now. Amen. And of course, that's all I had. My details are on the comment section below. See you next time.